So the bed in the back of the Thor Sanctuary 19PT is pretty good. It's pretty big, but I'm not liking it because of just how uneven and hard to work with it is. You know, the back to the middle, these are different heights. It's uncomfortable somewhat to sleep on. You have to use like an extra pad or something just to kind of help smooth it out. It kind of sags in the center. There was something up with the spring, actually, I found out after I took it apart. But I'm going to make it into something where it's more like a full mattress down one side, a full mattress down the other side. And then the middle is going to be either to be more open and then close it off, but you still have like, it's cut farther back so you can still sit on it. So let's get started on this project. So the first thing I had to do was remove the old chair mattress. So it's only 2 bolts on each side that hold the back on. So the rest of this is just like a metal frame with a foam pad on it. Only secured with 2 bolts, easy to do. The bottom piece was the same. Hinges, I thought I might be able to leave them on and just not worry about it, but they ended up being kind of in the way. So I took the hinges out and then got on with how I was gonna design the back bed. So I decided to go the easiest route, I thought, and just do platforms. So I increased the size of these 2 benches, just one solid piece of wood, span the 2. And then for the back of it, I did slats. And there's like, 6 slats on one side, 5 slats on the other. I will make something, kind of build this up in the middle somehow, haven't decided yet. But the mattress will be on one side, the middle will be kind of open, and I'll be able to like put storage under here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm also going to use these Camco bed springs just to kind of help. It'll elevate the mattresses, but it'll make it be more flush with the compartment that I put in the center. So I got stuff sanded down. I'm starting to reassemble it. Realized that with these like solid benches, I kind of made under storage areas. The passenger side, not really big enough to put a shelf in, although I thought about it, but it was just to be a little shelf. Driver's side, I put a shelf in there. It's actually pretty big. It's like almost like 14 by 14. You also, like if you are going to like expand your batteries on your house batteries, you could cut that out and put a house battery in there. Then in the back for the slats, I decided to screw these directly into metal. I used self-drilling and self-tapping screws. All I did was I kind of pre-drilled holes in the wood. And then wherever the drill bit hit the metal, I just used the self-tapping screws to drill them through. And then I put some spray paint, anti-rust, in the holes, re-screw them back in. Got all that laid out. I think it looks pretty good. Everything's pretty solid. I did, me being me, I put foam underneath everything that contacts wood or another surface to help control vibrations. And took it for a drive just to double check to make sure that I didn't have like some crazy vibrations happening. And it was pretty good. I mean, there were some bumps in the street, so you could hear like little bits of shakes every now and then, but there's not like some abnormally loud creaking noise happening back there, so I'm pretty happy with it. So continuing on with the build, I needed to do something for this middle section, so I decided to go with pieces of wood, notched them, put this rubber material to kind of keep vibrations down and make them have some friction. Just used a hinge to open this up, and then I also hinged the door in the back to give you access to the what used to be underseat storage. So pretty nice. Oh, I also put this material just to kind of add like an anti-slip so the mattress kind of wants to stay. So I kind of add that material there, but it also doubles as it kind of takes out the vibration because it's padding between the 2. Added the Camco bed springs. I'll make a video specifically about these, just doing their install. I didn't want to make this video too long, but added the bed springs. Nothing too hard. I'm drilling straight into wood. I just used a drill with a long bit on it. No issues there at all. So, got all the bed springs in place. You can see where these 2 little slat boards kind of fit on the sides. I had to cut this a little narrower. The mattresses at this point had shown up, and I had to like narrow this down a little bit. I also had to drill a hole for the finger to help lift that open because it was a little tough. These little side rails that I created, or I made a spot for them so they can just slide between the springs. That way you can just pull them out of there. I also had that rubber material just to dampen vibrations, but also add a little bit of friction to everything so it's not sliding around. And then just notes, like my notes for my measurements. I mean, measure your own stuff because I think every van is slightly different, but you can screenshot this just to get an idea of this is how big my mattresses needed to be. So the mattresses came wrapped up like this, which made it really nice to weigh them, so I knew how much weight was going in. I'll make a separate video on just the mattresses on their own, but they are surprisingly light, 35 pounds for all the mattresses put together. And then I did keep track of all of my weights. I have the negative, what I took out. So I took out 83 pounds worth of stuff. And then positive, I actually was happy. I'm like, whoa, I put in 82 pounds. But then when I added the springs, they added like 20 pounds-ish. So I'm positive 19 pounds heavier. So mattresses inflated. These are from Custom Mattress Factory. Like I said, they'll make their own video, but this is what the setup would be for days. So you have like a chase lounge kind of setup. So people could watch TV back here if there's just two of you. Chase lounges, armrest in the middle. We'll just wrap these up in something somehow. Make something for them, you know. But yeah, it looks pretty good. The corner cuts. I mean, I gave them the exact measurements that I wanted, and they showed up exactly as I asked. I mean, I wasn't sure in my mind what I should do. Should I like underestimate, overestimate? So I just gave them exactly what I needed, and they turned out perfect. And with this piece right here, I measured this to be short. Something like a trash can could fit in that space or something, or a small bag. So now let's take these and let's look at how we would make it into a bed. So obviously your top cushion is not attached to anything, so you would just move this cushion out of your way. You would lift this cushion out of the center. I had to trim this piece down, obviously, to fit easier, but it just swings open nice and easy. And then you see it's not catching on anything. These little rails that are tucked in the sides, I can just pull them out, move them across, and then lower the bed onto the top of them. Kind of just make sure the notches line up before I lay it down, and then replace the mattresses and turn it into a full bed. So I can do it one-handed. It's really easy with two hands though. Trying to film it makes it a little more problematic, but it's not that bad. It's easier than it was anyway. And then full bed. And everything is basically the same level, even with the platforms kind of raised up. And I was very surprised when I lay on the mattress, the springs don't really sink a whole lot, and the mattress is still basically flush. So if you like roll over and go over the gap, you don't even notice. So we gotta get some sheets for these, get them wrapped up. I'm gonna get them out of here before I get them too dirty and get in trouble. Next project, I'm fixing this overhead shelf. That's my doing. I put the nets up there, the cargo nets. They work, but I hate it. I hate looking at them. So I'm gonna do an overhead shelf. I will post links to the video for the Camco springs and the custom mattresses. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.